2.5 forecast, and this weather forecast is brought to you by some web hosting and domain names at ozsome.com. Monday weather forecast, partly to mostly sunny today, the high 60 to 65. Northeast wind 5 to 10. Light winds tonight, mostly clear, upper 30s and low 40s for the temperature. Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny in the mid to upper 60s. Chance of showers later Tuesday night. Showers and thunderstorms Wednesday and Thursday. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. 4 people have died after an explosion destroyed a building in the city of Leicester in the UK. Nigeria has deployed more troops and planes to try and find 110 schoolgirls feared abducted by Boko Haram. Russia could be reinstated to the IOC on Tuesday or Wednesday, according to Russian media. And the National Rifle Association says it doesn't support any gun ban after a shooting in a Florida school that left 17 people dead.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM. Good morning to you on your Monday. It's February 26, 2018. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is in the studio with you. I'm flying solo today. Our normal host, Miss Kabila Jones, is not in today. She will be back tomorrow. Everything is fine. She just had to take a little time off, but it is all good. I am here with you. And joining me today, we have a very special guest. We have Dr. Maurice Gipson, and I'm going to let him tell his title because it's actually recently changed. I think it was the Vice Chancellor for Diversity, but it may be a little something different now. There's been some changes in the department. So I'll just let Dr. Gipson introduce himself, and we'll go ahead and get into our discussion.
Well, thank you, and good morning to all of you out there. Happy Monday. As you were just saying, the title has recently changed a little bit. It's the Office of Diversity and Community Engagement has been elevated to the cabinet level. So now my current title is Chief Diversity Officer, where I am responsible for the diverse initiatives and activity on our campus, as well as community engagement efforts throughout the Delta region.
Okay, so that's actually a mouthful that you just said there. So how did this, let's just start with the change itself. How did the change go about? Who made the decision, and why was it so important for this change to take place in your position?
It's an excellent question. So the change actually came about by our current chancellor, Dr. Kelly Damphus, who has been in office now not even a year. So he came to us in July. I think he started July 2nd to be exact. So the change was his decision, but quite honestly, this is something that the university had been working towards for quite some time now. When I first got hired, Dr. Lynn Fry, who's the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration, brought me in under his division, but he had always, it had always been his thought that diversity belonged at the table of vice chancellors and reporting to the chancellor. However, the way our structure was set up at the university at the time, it was an assistant vice chancellor report to him, and it worked quite well. However, there are issues, and there are certain situations where you want to have direct access to the chancellor. And Dr. Damphus, he recognized that. He recognized that in this changing world, changing environment, that he needed to have someone at the table who understood issues of equity and access and inclusion and diversity, and he made the change.
And we're certainly thankful for Dr. Damphus for making that change. I know he was on Community Conversations a couple months back, and he kind of hinted that something big was coming. He wouldn't spill the beans at the time, but he said that I think everybody would be pleased with the decision that he made. And of course, now that it is official, we can officially say that we are pleased. So, how is it like working with Dr. Damphus? The guy has stamina. The guy is, you see him everywhere with that, I saw him at the Black History Quiz Bowl this past Saturday, and then I think he went to a basketball game after that, and then, you just never know where he might pop up. And it's someone like him people have never seen that. I've never seen anything like it. So how is it like that? Because as you say, you report directly to him. So you're at the head table when all of the biggest, most influential people at the university are there. You are now at the table. So what is that like?
So, yeah, I think you've asked two very, very interesting questions. The first is, talking about the chancellor's stamina and his energy. And quite honestly, I think that for a lot of us, if we could bottle that up and either drink it ourselves or give it to other people, we'd be running probably 24/7 in this town. He's highly energetic, highly student-centric and student-focused. And I think that, being around students, he feeds off of that energy. He loves that, to participate in all of the different activities that our students have on campus. As you know yourself, he's very involved in the community already. So I think his high energy has certainly, rubbed off on those around the table with him. People are, not to say they weren't doing it before, but, people are definitely more energetic and excited about his vision and excited about the energy he brings to the table. And to your second point, being at the table and being around the vice chancellors and those who make decisions to affect policy and change on campus has been an eye-opening experience and one that I enjoy and one that I don't take for granted. I think it's critically important to have people in the room with diverse perspectives. So listening to my colleagues and how they've been able to work over time has truly been something that that I've taken heed to and noticed. So really being there and helping push our agenda has been phenomenal.
And speaking of the agenda, so what are some of the things that the Office of Diversity is currently involved with? One of the things that I've noticed, especially on social media, that you all do a lot of partnering with the student organizations, Black Students Association, the Black fraternities and sororities, the Multicultural Office. You all are getting out there doing so many things. So what are some of the things that are currently going on, and even some things to look forward to in the future?
That's an excellent question. You're batting 1,000 today.
Well, I'm trying. I'm still not as good as Quabila. But I'm trying.
And I'll agree with that. I love when Quabila's here. But we'll accept you today.
Well, but I'm not even like I said. Quabila's amazing.
No, she is. She really is. I always look forward to our conversations. So the very first big change would be obviously the change of the name. So it used to be the Office of Diversity. Well, even before then, it was Diversity Initiatives, and then it changed to the Office of Diversity, and now it's the Diversity and Community Engagement. So that's the new charge of this newly kind of reformatted unit on campus. So with that, it's kind of a two-pronged approach. The first piece, deals with all of those different characteristics that would make someone diverse, so the full spectrum. And the second piece, which is something we're really going to be focused on as we move forward in the next couple of years, is this whole notion of community engagement. While we have different units, offices, college, divisions, departments, so on and so forth, who are actively engaged in our community, we felt that it was critically important to have a place where that could be a landing pad for all of this activity, somewhere that could capture this activity, and also an office that would be responsible for going out in this Delta region and really talking about Arkansas State, promoting Arkansas State, as well as letting individuals know that they can come on this campus, and this is a campus for them. It's welcoming, a place where they can come and utilize the resources on campus. So that's just kind of an overview of what the office is and what we've and how it's changed. But specifically, oftentimes, I definitely love this aspect of it, is that people, automatically assume that it's only student-centric. And I love that in the sense that people know that we're truly taking care of our students. But our office, honestly, is to serve the entire campus community, so faculty, staff, and students, as well as our community aspect. So you've talked about some of the partnerships for students and some of the different organizations and entities we partner with. But specifically, I'll talk about some of the student initiatives and then get to some of the faculty and staff piece. But we are doing our annual A-State Connection, which is coming up in April. And that's an event where we bring rising seniors, so they're current juniors, to campus for an overnight experience. So they stay 2 days, one night, and we introduce them to all that is Arkansas State University. So they go through a litany of different different workshops talking about the different aspects of campus, so residential life, financial aid, so on and so forth. They get an opportunity to interact with our current students, so they do a student panel. This year we have something special planned for them. I won't talk about it yet, but it's going to be something very special and unique.
Which means it's going to be great.
Which means it's going to be great. Honestly, this is one of my favorite programs. It was at the campus before I got there, so I certainly will not take credit for introducing that. But we have made some changes, and I think they are changes for the better and the positive. Really trying to attract students from this area to come to Arkansas State University. So A-State Connection brings students from all over the state and a couple from the Memphis area to come on campus and really let us make our push and tell them everything that's great about A-State. Another piece that we do on campus, and this is germane to faculty, it's called A-State Advance. And what we do, we assist pre-tenure faculty members of color through their process. So we have seminars every semester. We have people come in and talk to them about the tenure and promotion process. And honestly, it's an opportunity for us to build community for that group of people.
Now, has there been anything like that before to help African American faculty get tenure at Arkansas State?
That's a good question as well. So prior to me getting here, when Dr. Glenn Jones was here, who was the first Chief Diversity Officer at Arkansas State University, he introduced a program called the Quality Teaching Circle. And Dr. Lily Fears, who works in my office now, works with us rather. Well, she works in the office. She was responsible for that. So they did have this is similar to that. We've changed the components a little bit, but it's still similar. That program went on for a couple of years, and then in transition, I think it kind of just went away for a little while. So we brought that back introduced some new components.
And I think that's important because when I think back to the story of the Circle, the first 4 African American faculty on the campus of Arkansas State University, one of the things that led to them getting hired was that the Black Student Association stood up and said, we want faculty that look like us teaching us. And the university officials pretty much met that demand by hiring them. And of course, now reading the Circle, one of the things that was required that each of the members did have to get a doctoral degree, which they all did. So fast forwarding to now, that's good that something's in place to help to ensure that there are more people that look like us that are teaching our students on the campus of Arkansas State University. We're speaking with Dr. Maurice Gipson, Chief Diversity Officer of the campus of Arkansas State University. Got a couple Facebook shout-outs. Shout out to Lachey Robinson, who says, good morning, KLEK. Well, good morning, Lachey. And Shanquetta Cunningham says, awesome, and put in parentheses, tenure. So appreciate y'all for checking in. And of course, if you have a question or a comment for Dr. Gipson, you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. Or you can leave your questions and your comments on our Facebook live feed. So getting back into some of the things that the Office of Diversity does, when you talk diversity, I know some people typically may think of, just African Americans, but there is a diverse population of students. In fact, I think there may be up to 60 nationalities, maybe even more than that, represented on the campus of Arkansas State. So what does your office do for the diverse population as a whole? Because you got different nationalities, different countries, different religions, different cultures, all of that represented.
Sure. No, that's an excellent question. And I think, as we talk about diversity and its very expansive nature, one thing that we've been very deliberate about is to stress that diversity is not just racial diversity or ethnic diversity. We think about it in terms, some people think about it in terms of, what are you doing for X category of racial minority? And while it's important for us to focus on those students who may have come from marginalized communities or come from disadvantaged backgrounds, it's also important for us to look at diversity in a very, it's a very expansive nature. For instance, we also talk about gender diversity, sexual diversity. We just sponsored, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, the National Safe Zone Training Alliance came to train people on our campus. I think we had about 20 or so individuals who signed up to be they're trained. They were trained by the National Alliance, so they are essentially people that can go out and train organizations and other people to be allies and to be to be safe zone aware. So that's one example of not looking at something in terms of racial or ethnic diversity, sexual diversity. We also make sure that we partner with organizations that promote the various types of diverse situations. We're getting ready to do something with our Office of Disability Services. We haven't done enough, quite honestly, to bring awareness to those issues who affect our colleagues and our students who are disabled. So we're always looking for ways to partner with organizations who are experts in the various diverse fields. But our office is always open to all the full spectrum.
Okay, and that's very good. Going into that, how important is tolerance to your office? Because unfortunately, I'm sure there are incidents where sometimes students may not feel safe, or they may feel harassed because of what makes them unique, whether it be their ethnicity or their sexuality or any other trait that they may have. So how does your office handle tolerance, and even handle situations in which someone may have been not felt to be comfortable or even harassed or bullied?
Well, I think you just said something very key to this whole diversity work. We honestly are trying to move from an environment of tolerance to one of acceptance. Tolerance is in effect not really embracing someone, right? But really just allowing them to exist. And quite honestly, no one has the power to allow someone to exist. So to say just to tolerate would honestly be just on the very, very first beginning of that paradigm. We want to get people to acceptance, and one way we are working towards that is our Campus Climate Council, which was it's been around now for almost a year. The end of the semester will be a year, and it's something we brought on board, a collaborative effort between Office of Diversity and the Office of Human Resources. My colleague Lori Nguyen, we put this council together essentially to talk about those issues of intolerance, to talk about those issues of not feeling welcomed, of not feeling included on our campus, and we're working through several strategic initiatives right now, so that we can really focus on those individuals who don't feel welcome there, so they can bring issues to our attention. And our charge as the committee is to provide recommendations to our administration on how we can make some positive change.
All right, once again, we are speaking with Dr. Maurice Gipson, Chief Diversity Officer on the campus of Arkansas State University, talking about all things diversity and just having a great conversation. We want to thank Dr. Gipson for stopping by. As we got about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in this break, let's kind of bring it back to community engagement. What are some of the things within the community outside of the campus of Arkansas State University that your office is working on?
So this is, as I said earlier, this is still a relatively new aspect of the office, and part of this charge is making sure that we can partner with community organizations, and that can look all sorts of ways. So some of our community partners and organizations, they need financial support, and some of them, they just need access to our campus resources. So whether it be buildings, whether that be...
And we got a call.
Oh, okay.
KLK, who's this? KLK, who's this? Hello? KLK. I guess we lost him. So
maybe they changed their mind.
Oh well, hopefully they'll call back.
So what we've done just recently is we've worked with the city of Jonesboro with two of their vistas, and they hosted a phenomenal conference on our campus. I think it was late last semester, and where we provided some resources to them. We're looking for other community partners to assist in their endeavors, and to really again make Arkansas State University's footprint in this community, not just Jonesboro, but this greater Delta community, better.
KLK, who's this?
Hi, it's Shanquetta.
Hey, Shanquetta.
Hi, I have a question. Great interview on this morning. I just wanted to quickly ask, I know that the office is focusing, one of the initiatives is recruitment when it comes down to in the community engagement. I really would hope you come back and offer more of the programs you all are doing. But one of the things, I'm working with a number of individuals from the Delta areas and primarily African Americans who have come to ASU and then had to drop out because of financial reasons. So is there an effort in this community engagement that will help low-income individuals not just focus on recruitment but retention through your office?
That is an excellent question. Excellent question. Thank you. So, and again, I won't take credit for this because this is all by our chancellor putting together a great team of individuals. But when he got here, he recognized that our retention rate was somewhat low. So he created the Chancellor's Commission on Completion, and he has a group of individuals from across campus working on solutions to keep our students there, keep them there, and then get them graduated. And we've made some really, really positive gains. To answer your question specifically, this was something, and I think this is just so timely, something we talked about in our last meeting on Wednesday. How can we help those students and assist those students who just they didn't make it for financial reasons, and primarily looking at some of the data, we've seen that it has affected our minority students. It's affecting several students, but my office, of course, has a particular focus on ethnic minorities. And we recently got a commitment from an alum in which there will be some monies available for students who aren't quite there, who can't quite bridge that gap. We're calling it gap funding. There will be an application process, and it will not be a substantial amount, but we do know that anywhere from $500 to $800 that sometimes will assist in a huge way. And also, if you know particular students, please send them to my office. We have some resources available that we can assist as well, because I never want to see any student leave for financial. I don't want to see a student leave, period, but certainly for financial reasons.
But Dr. Gipson, we're going to have to leave it there. Getting ready to go to a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more. As Dr. Davis likes to mess with me and say, this is Kate, L-E-K, on 2.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
How do you stay joined at the hip and heart with your teen? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Over the years, my wife Susan has taught me how to maintain a great relationship with each of our children. Here are a few lessons I've learned. First, don't take it personally. When my daughters became teens, I didn't understand. Why doesn't she want to hold my hand? Why would she rather go to the mall than go bike riding with me? Susan told me, don't take it personally and don't try to force anything. Give them some space. They'll come around. And they did. Second, always speak the truth, no matter what. Consistent truth-telling is key to staying connected relationally. For the rest of the ways to stay joined at the hip and heart with your teen, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Jonathan Hagens of the Jonesboro Police Department. One of the best decisions I ever made was to join the Jonesboro Police Department. Since joining, I've had the pleasure to give back, protect, and serve my community. Now I want to let you know about that same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing for the patrol officers at the Valley View High School. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information, 870-935-5657.
Applications are being accepted. Applications are available at jonesboropolice.com.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us, you'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information. From the KLEK Community Calendar, First Baptist Church, 700 Kitchen Street in Jonesboro, Reverend Curtis Wilson, pastor, presents FBC Army, a girls' retreat. This event will provide the spiritual nourishment, encouragement, and inspiration that's needed for young ladies ages 12 to 18 to succeed. The speakers will address topics such as self-confidence, self-respect, self-control, and self-motivation. Special guests will be Tiffany Wright, Wakanda Cox, Tamara Glover, and Corleen Flanagan. This event will take place Saturday, March 17th at 10 o'clock a.m. The event will be hosted by Tia Morris. Breakfast and lunch will be provided, and there will be vendors present. Registration is available at www.eventbrite.com under I Am Worthy. More information is available via Tia Morris at 870-532-3381.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK with our guest, Dr. Maurice Gipson, Chief Diversity Officer for Arkansas State University. And we're just talking about all issues of diversity. And, of course, if you have a question or a comment for Dr. Gipson, you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. Or you can leave your questions and your comments on our Facebook live feed. Great. One of the things that we talked about before the break was some of the activities that the Office of Diversity is involved with. And of course, one of the things that I've seen is that you all work with a lot of organizations to bring activities on campus to improve, the social life, the interactive life, giving people things to do besides just, go to class every day. So let's kind of talk about that aspect of your office and some of the things that you all are doing and some of the things that you're planning.
That's excellent. So Chris Davis, who's the program coordinator in the Office of Diversity, he heavily works with our student organizations, student groups, and I know that they're working on something right now, bringing a concert to A-State, one that I guess the one that is more current now, right, and one that speaks to some of the population in this community. So I know they're working on that, and quite honestly, you just reminded me I need to follow up when I get back to that. So they're really and truly what some of our student organizations are attempting to do is make sure that this is a campus where people want to stay over the weekend, right? If you look now, oftentimes on Friday it's a ghost town on that campus after 12 noon because people are gone home. So what our students are really trying to do is build a sense of community on campus. Say that we bring artists, that we bring speakers. On Tuesday, we'll have David Banner on campus,
and there's been a lot of excitement about that. I think some people don't realize that he's there to speak and not to rap, but
And what people don't realize. So David Banner, he went to Southern University, so I'm very familiar with him, know him well, and he is an activist. He started out as an activist. He was student government president at Southern University. So that tells you right there, from whence
he's a sharp brother.
He's sharp, right? And and he rapped, but he is truly a social activist, and that is really his calling and what he'll be doing on Tuesday. Now, of course, I know when Banner when he gets excited around students, he may do a number or two.
He might say, "DJ, hit that beat."
that means he needs to get you there.
Well, we would love to be there. I mean, we'd even live stream. I don't know if that's allowed or not for us to cover it.
So I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the details of his contract and writer and such, but I'll let you know today. Dr. Yvette Allen, who's our phenomenal director.
Yeah, she's been on here several times.
And she, so she's phenomenal. She's a product of A-State, from Jonesboro, not from Jonesboro, but lived in this area, and she's just absolutely phenomenal. So I'll check with her, but I'd love to have you there to live stream for individuals.
Well, we'll do it if of course I know you say you got to check the contract, see if that's allowed, but if so, then we definitely would like to be a part of that.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
So let's kind of talk more about that event. I think we have a flyer on our social media. I think Wabila has one up on here somewhere. If not, I can pull it up somewhere.
Okay, well, while you're pulling it up, I'll just kind of talk about it in general, and then whatever specific questions you have. But bringing David Banner to campus was a collective effort of our Black History Month committee. So one thing we've done differently this year is that we have made a university Black History Month committee. So a cross section of our campus community to come together and talk about what they want this celebration to look like, different people that would be of interest to students. And quite honestly, I wasn't at the meeting where they all selected David Banner, but I was surprised because I said, I listened to David Banner when I was younger, so I didn't even think the students now would know who that was.
Down on the floor like a pimp. Oh, let me stop. Well, as a DJ, I remember playing his songs. Yeah, David Banner will get it turned up.
No, he will. So I was really shocked and surprised that our students today, that they knew who that was. But obviously, pleasantly shocked and surprised, because I enjoy David Banner's work. So I'm really excited.
And looking at, I got the flyer put up. It says hip hop as a tool for social activism. So that definitely should be interesting, because one thing about today's college student is that they are very engaged in activism. We've been doing a series here on KLEK, a Melanin Air, where a group of millennials have come and discussed the issues, and they're pretty candid in how they feel about things and how they see the world. And of course, when we look at hip hop, the origins of hip hop was as a social commentary to speak out against the things that were going on
absolutely
at the time. So this definitely is going to be an interesting discussion. It's going to be February 28th, 2018, 7 o'clock p.m. at Centennial Hall, and it is sponsored by the Office of Diversity and Community Engagement, the Multicultural Center. I believe it is free, right?
You're correct. It is free.
Might want to get there early, get a seat though.
No, you definitely want to get there early, and it's going to be a phenomenal time. We're really excited about it. But Alonzo, you just said something a few seconds ago, just talking about hip hop and being social commentary. Academics now and scholars, they are really starting to look at hip hop in a new light, where there are some who have been doing it for forever. There's a new group of scholars that are looking at it, and they have a pedagogy surrounding hip hop. Because quite honestly, when you look at it, when you look at some of those those pioneers and what they did in that music, it certainly has been representative of a community that of the voiceless, right? It really talked about marginalized communities, marginalized people, and in some respects it was a cry for help. So again, I think this theme is quite timely when we're looking at hip hop, and we're looking at hip hop artists, and our youth today are looking at them to be models and to be examples. Now, I'm not suggesting that kids have to follow their examples, right? But the things that they speak about, I think, are really helping to uncover some of that unrest in those communities.
Well, music has always been a tool to express things, like many years ago, and even today still, the blues was to outlet. Jazz was an outlet, and now it's morphed into hip hop. And so we as a people have always used music as an outlet. So definitely think it's going to be a great event, and so definitely would encourage each and every one of you out there, if you can make it, to please come out. So, and I'm sure Dr. Gipson's office has many more events such as that up their sleeve that hopefully we'll get to share with in the future.
And just as I'm thinking about it, one thing that I would like to be involved in, that as far as I can recall, our office hadn't been involved. I'm not sure if the university has before I got here or not, but the Juneteenth celebration here in Jonesboro, I think that we certainly should be involved.
Well, it's kind of funny you mention that, because a couple of the KLEK volunteers are looking at doing something. So that might be one of those community engagement partnerships.
Absolutely. So I'll certainly look forward to hearing more about that, and and doing some work about it.
Well, see, that's how it works. We're speaking with Dr. Maurice Gipson, Chief Diversity Officer of Arkansas State University. And, of course, if you have a question or a comment, you can call us at 870-277-1080, or you can leave your questions and comments on our Facebook live feed. Now, another thing that your office is involved with is Greek life. And so what are some of the things that you are doing in regards to Greek life, as far as recruitment, getting the numbers up, and even addressing some of the concerns that people involved in Greek life have?
So I think about a year, maybe two now, my goodness, the Office of the Student Leadership Center, and the Office of Greek Affairs, which falls under that, hired a phenomenal young man, an alum, Booker Mays. As most of you out there may know, he was an all-star football player who, obviously he graduated from A-State, then went on and got his master's, and I think he may be working on his specialist degree now. So just a phenomenal young man, and he is the coordinator for the MPHC. So the MPHC are all of our, historically black fraternities and sororities. And let me tell you, that young man is he is blazing a trail. I'm really impressed with him and his work. Something we did just last Monday, a collaborative between our office, my office, and the MPHC, was to host a screening of the Black Panther movie as part of our Black History Month activities, but also as a way for...
Who was your favorite character? I know I gotta just do a curveball into that.
Well, so can I pick more than one?
I'll give you two.
Two, okay. So my favorite characters honestly were T'Challa, who was played by Bozeman is his last name. I can't think of his first name. Is it Anthony Bozeman? And my second was Eric Killmonger, and who was played by Eric B. Jordan. So
and I think definitely the dialogue between them they told an interesting story. We won't get into spoilers and anything like that.
They did, but I will. What I do want to caution, just as a historian, is that a lot of people have tried to say, oh, this is about, the Black Panther, the Black Panther Party, so on and so forth, or it's about the Black Power movement, and it's not. It's really
now it is a powerful social commentary.
No, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. But if we want to be historically accurate, we want to look at that. And I'm not saying that movie does not have parallels to some of our historical occurrences, because it does. But I don't want people going and thinking that it's all about the Black Panther Party or the Black Power movement, because really it's a larger story and a longer arc.
Yeah, because unfortunately some of the detractors have tried to throw it up,
and it is absolutely not.
Shout out to Dr. Sharice Jones Branch. Appreciate you for checking in on our Facebook live feed. So how did the screening go?
You said that was Dr. Jones Branch?
Yes.
That means I have to really, really make sure that I'm accurate in my historical details. I love Dr. Jones Branch. She's a full professor in history on Arkansas State's campus.
Well, Dr. Branch is an amazing person.
Absolutely.
She's a part of KLEK, and we just, we just thank God for her.
Yes, she is. So the screening went absolutely phenomenal. If I had time, I'd even show you some pictures of Leganzi. But, to see so many of our students in there, and it was not just a black thing, and that's what we're really trying to get away from, is people thinking that when different events are sponsored by certain offices that it's just a black thing or a person of color thing. We had students, all from all ethnic backgrounds in this screening, and to see a theater full of just your students, I mean, it was phenomenal. And also we invited area high schools to send I think each school had up to 10 to send 10, again, because we are part of the community, and we want to let them know that A-State is your school. We know you live in Jonesboro, but we want you to come over to our campus. And we had high school students there who absolutely loved it, and we look forward to further engaging them.
Now, from the people watching the movie, did you see a sense of pride? What was the reaction of people as they were walking out of the theater after seeing the movie, especially with it being such a powerful movie?
Well, I think there are two ways. Let's start at walking in the movie. People came in some of their finest garments. People came in some of the traditional African print. People came in colors that represented represented various African nations. So I was just, it was a proud moment for me. And then walking out, the pride was almost palpable in that room. You could feel it. People were just excited to see a movie in which they were reflected in a positive light. And I say they as in, people of color, black people were reflected in a positive manner in which they hadn't seen in quite some time. The only movie, and this was a comedy, not only, but one of the movies that comes to mind in the 80s was Coming to America.
And I remember that as a kid, and I got that same feeling, and it definitely makes you feel good, to see that. And of course, those fight scenes, those women warriors, they were bad. You don't want to mess with them.
Which again has another it has historical significance. So there was an all women warrior tribe. I can't remember which African country it was.
Dr. Brancha, you can help us out.
Thank you. That's why she's the senior scholar. But so there were some historical representations that are accurate that we can trace back. So you're absolutely right. And what that told me was that oftentimes in this country we forget about the plight of the black woman. But this movie depicted black women always being there, because think about it, in almost every frame there was a black woman there to support or to even take charge. So I was just really impressed with
their ingenuity as well, like the girl that was the scientist that came up with all these neat inventions. And I was digging. I need me one of them suits where somebody just shoots at me and okay, I guess it's gonna be slight spoiler, but not too much. But where you shoot at me and you can just take it and just throw that back at you.
Yeah, that energy, right? That kinetic energy that goes out. But no, I was just I'm getting fascinated. I saw it 2 times. I think I'm gonna go see it one more just to tie it all up. But
I want to go see it in 3D. So
that's probably gonna be really good. But again, I was very thankful that that movie was here in Jonesboro. And one thing that I one thing I do tell our students, faculty, staff, just community residents, is that we need to support movies that we want to see. Particularly those movies that depict people of color. I make it a point, I'm a huge moviegoer anyway, but I make it a point to go and support those movies here locally at our theater so that more will come. If we don't support those movies that again depict people of color, then they're likely to not come. I know there are some theaters, well, not Black Panther, but there are other movies that came out that did not come to this theater, and theaters around the country. Excuse me. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Marshall came here. That's another Chadwick Boseman movie about my fraternity brother. Got to shout out Thurgood Marshall. I don't think it came here, because I remember going to Memphis to see it, and if it was here, I obviously would have gone right here. So my point is that we have to support. And I say we as a community have to support those opportunities to go and support those movies. And again, if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie, right? I'm not advocating go and support movies that aren't good, but let's give them a shot. Let's give them an opportunity.
Yeah, because even for the bad ones, maybe people support and they get more budget and they learn from them mistakes. Maybe the next one will be better. So bringing it back to Greek life, we went from I asked you what was you doing for Greek life, and then we into this whole Black Panther discussion.
So that's how we got there. That was a collaborative effort between MPHC and our office. One thing that me and my colleague Dr. Lonnie Williams, who's the Associate Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, that we talk about all the time is how can we get the full complement and array of Greeks on our campus.
And of course, you being Alpha, he being a Q.
Right, the beginning and the end. So we want everything in between. But we don't have all of our sororities and fraternities on our campus. So that's one thing I've been passionate about, because as you know, Leganzi, that our MPHC organizations are a huge recruitment tool and a huge retention tool. Typically, students that are affiliated with Greek organizations stay in college, and I'm sure the data would suggest that because of their sense of community and belonging and being a part. So we're really looking to bring all of the organizations on campus. One in particular, if you're out there in the world, Deltas, if you have a connection. There have been so many young ladies that have asked about bringing Delta Sigma Theta back. I used to be on the board, the National Board of Directors for Alpha Phi Alpha, so I understand, some of the liability associated with that. But if is this the Southwestern region for Delta? If you know that officer and can get me in contact with her, I will make an appeal as well for them. And Deltas aren't the only one. That's one that people have asked about specifically. But I know we're missing. I think we're missing Sigma and Moreau on our campus as well. So,
Dr. Branch, where you at?
Right, bring them back. You're a full professor now, Dr. Jones Branch. So I won't dare say you have time because I know you don't. But let's get them back as well. And I think there's a push now to bring IOTA.
Yeah, now IOTA Phi Theta had recently had an interest meeting this past Thursday, and of course I hope that the meeting was successful.
Yes.
Even though I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha myself, I agree with you. It's just much better when you have all the options available, because each one brings a unique experience to the table, and the campus definitely thrives when all are represented.
Absolutely. So that's probably the biggest push right now. Now, my office supports all of those organizations. So when they have their various weeks, when they have their outreaches, when they have their community service, so on and so forth, we support them in numerous ways. And again, Chris Davis, he deals specifically with that aspect of it.
And Chris is a good guy. I know you're working real hard.
He better be at work right now. But no, Chris is good, and the students love him because he's passionate about his work and what he does. So again, the two things to take away is that we support them in their individual projects and what they're doing, and two, we support the MPHC's goal and mission of bringing all nine, having all nine on our campus, because that's critically important to our recruitment and our retention efforts.
All right, and we definitely look forward to seeing all of the Greeks eventually come back on the yard as well. We're speaking with Dr. Maurice Gipson, Chief Diversity Officer on the campus of Arkansas State University. We're getting ready to go to a break, but when we come back, we're going to have more. Don't go anywhere. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Today we're talking about the money martyr. If this is you, you just don't know how to say no to family and friends who have come to recognize you as their personal banker and emergency fund. You lend without demanding repayment. You always pick up the tab, and you always pay for gas. You even commit one of the cardinal sins of money management. You co-sign on people's loans. While your intentions may be good, you are probably doing damage in two important ways. First, you are likely hurting your own credit, creating debt, and depleting your savings to be the family ATM. Second, you are creating a culture of dependency among the people you care about, making them increasingly less willing and able to take care of themselves. Never put the needs of others ahead of your own financial obligations and goals. Put a specific amount and never ever give beyond that amount. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
KLK 102.5 FM is giving away free gas in February. That's right, KLK has teamed up with Mrs. Polly's Motivational Barbecue CAB, 2098 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro in the Teletech parking lot, and the Lambda Eta chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated to give you free gas. All you gotta do is tune in to All Gospel Wednesday with Brother Cobbs every Wednesday in February from 11 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. When Brother Cobbs asks for the 10th caller, all you gotta do is call in and say, "Your life, your music, KLEK." Call in to 870-277-1080. Again, that's 870-277-1080. And you will win a $30 gift card good at any come and go gas station. KLEK, giving away free gas every Wednesday for All Gospel Wednesday in February. And remember, your life, your music, KLEK. KLEK, Mrs. Polly's, and Phi Beta Sigma, we do it for you.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests. A large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
KLEK 102.5 FM is giving you more praise. That's right. Starting Wednesday, January 3rd, KLEK brings to you All Gospel Wednesdays, every Wednesday from 5 a.m. till 7 p.m. Enjoy all of your favorite gospel hits and get your praise on all day long with Cheryl Underwood Radio in the morning, Brother Cobbs during the day, and Hezekiah Walker to take you into your local church Bible study. Plus, the return of the KLEK Praise Break. Lift up your hands, rejoice, and praise Him all day, all Wednesday, every Wednesday, on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
We're back on Community Conversations on KLEK with our guest, Dr. Maurice Gipson, who is the Chief Diversity Officer for the campus of Arkansas State University. We've been having a great discussion just about a variety of topics. So I just kind of wanted to just turn the floor over to you. Anything that you want to talk about that we may or not have mentioned as far as your office, how things are going, or anything that you just want the listeners to know?
Well, first of all, thank you again for allowing me to be here. I will say this on the air. I miss Squabila.
I do too. She'll be back tomorrow.
No, she's phenomenal. But seriously, one thing I want to stress, and kind of but it's certainly a focus of this office as well as our chancellor and our school, and that is this whole aspect of recruitment of students, with a particular focus from my office on students of color and students from the Delta as well as Arkansas. I want you to know, parents that are listening out there today, that Arkansas State University should be a destination choice for your child, and that once they come there, we are going to do everything in our power to make sure they're successful, and that they do the ultimate, which is to graduate from there and go on to be successful in their endeavor in life. And we're putting structures in place. We have some great structures in place now, but we're doing even more to make sure those students, that they feel welcome, that they feel included, that they feel like it is their home. And if it's, I don't care if it's coming from Jonesboro, coming from Fayetteville, Rogers, coming from Marion, West Memphis, Osceola, Blytheville, send your kids here at Arkansas State. We are truly going to make an investment in them. And we're going to, again, make sure that they have the tools necessary to compete in this global society, in this global world. I would say this, that, Arkansas State University, we can stand up against any institution. I'm not just saying institutions in the state, but any institution across the country, and what we offer and what we provide our students. So that's one big appeal. We have a couple of organizations that mentor our first generation students and our incoming students to make sure that they don't feel alone. I think that's been a big deal in this region since I've been here, is that parents don't want their kids to come here because they don't know if they're going to be successful or not, and that's a real concern, and it's a valid concern for a parent. I'm not a parent yet, but I have plenty of nieces and nephews that I care about and love and think about every day. Are they getting the absolute best education? Are they being provided for? So those are our real concerns, but I want to assuage those concerns and let you know that we are truly on the move, and we're doing some great things here. And no, everything hadn't always been right, and we're not perfect, but we are certainly committed to doing our absolute best for you and your child's education. And I truly believe that. I wouldn't be here at Arkansas State University if I didn't truly embrace that, and I didn't believe that. And if I didn't think that we had the right people around the table to make this happen. We have a phenomenal Chancellor's Executive Committee, phenomenal cabinet, phenomenal people that work on these issues every day. And I'm confident in saying that you send your child here, we will certainly send them out into the world a different person. They will be more reflective of society and think about society in a new way. And we're happy that we're here and we're able to serve those in the community and in our community and in this region. That's my spiel, Legazia.
All right, well, we have a Facebook shout out from Dr. Karen Rogers McDaniel, and she says, enjoyed hearing Dr. Gipson this morning. A-State has so much to offer. Glad we have Dr. Gipson at A-State. Well, Dr. McDaniel, definitely thank you for that comment. Dr. McDaniel has been on this show a few times. In fact, I believe she'll be on probably within the next couple of weeks or so. I know Quabila's got a booked on the calendar, so we look forward to having you back in the studio.
Dr. McDaniel is phenomenal, and for those of you, those young professionals who need to know what to do at a social reception, or after you have the interview, when your boss when everybody wants to take you out, let me tell you, Karen McDaniel, she knows. So Dr. McDaniel,
and she's actually came on the show and did a demo of some demos of how to conduct yourself as March 5th. So she'll be in March 5th. I don't know what her and Quabila will be talking about, but I know it'll be a good one.
She knows her stuff, so I'm glad to have you as a colleague, Karen, and you keep up your great work over there. We appreciate your work.
And we definitely thank you, Dr. McDaniel, for checking in on our Facebook live feed. We got about 2.5 minutes left, so once again, I want to thank, I almost said Dr. McDaniel, Dr. Gipson, for stopping by the studio today. And Dr. Gipson will be joining us for our pledge drive March 15th through the 18th as one of our celebrity guest endorsers. And we got a very nice lineup of celebrity guest endorsers. And of course, if you want to be a celebrity endorser and tell your story on how KLEK has benefited the community and help us to raise funds to continue to allow us to provide this show and other shows that you enjoy, please give us a call and help us out. Send us an email. Go to our website, klekfm.org. We would love to have your support. Dr. McDaniel says Women's Business Leadership Conference. I believe she came here last year to promote that, so that's definitely a good event. And she says thank you both. Well, thank you, Dr. McDaniel. Tell you Bobby and tell Brett I said hello as well. Quabila will be back in the studio tomorrow. I think I kept the seat warm for her. I think I did all right, but she will be back tomorrow, and we definitely are thankful for her. And we're just thankful for each and every one of you that has tuned in today. And anything else, Dr. Gipson?
Well, again, you certainly have been great. I always enjoyed my time here. I think this is the third or fourth time I've been here, and it is truly a highlight of our work. And Laganzi, you are a jewel in this community, and I look forward to March 15th, where I can bring a surprise as well. In that, we need you here, and you're doing great work. So I'm hopeful that as we begin to do our I don't like to call it a fundraising drive. I call it an investment in the community, because that's really what you're doing. As you all know, Laganzi works hard, and he doesn't take a dime. So everything that we do here truly is in support of this vision, this mission. So you are truly a godsend for this community, and I don't know what we'd be able to do without you. So thank you, and you keep doing what you're doing, and however we can support you, you make sure to let us know.
I certainly appreciate that, and I just, give all the credit to God for blessing me with this station and blessing me with people like you and each and every one of you out there that supports, no matter how you support. I thank God for each and every one of you. We'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a great and blessed day. And once again, this is for my guy Kelly. This is Kate, LEK, on 2.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. A program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.